Check, check. All right.
Check, check.
Okay. Back again. Back at it again.
Back at it again.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you for joining us once again. Last week's episode, you'll probably see some stuff around that area. Oops. I mean, I'm an amateur.
Yeah.
This is amateur hour.
It's a work in progress.
We're getting it together.
Yeah.
So this week obviously should be better. We
Hopefully.
said it that each week we would try to
improve. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was a practice run.
Right.
Just accept that was practice.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about practice.
Practice.
So this week, a step up in the right direction.
Hopefully.
And so let's try to celebrate that occasion with a brewery that I don't think we've ever done on the show before.
I don't think we have.
So it's a local brewery, and it's called Tactical
Tactical Brewing Co.
And they've been around for 2 years so far in the current location.
Yeah.
And so
in Baldwin
yes,
Park.
Baldwin Park. And so I went in there and kind of introduced myself, and they gave us a couple of flagship beers that they felt would represent the brewery as best as it could. So, without further ado, Obi, what are we drinking first?
This is the base lager. It's a 5.3% lager. And we have no cold read.
No.
So my job here is done.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you again. Ugh, Jesus Christ. I swear it was just the one beer. It's just this.
Uh-huh.
That's all it was, I swear.
Uh-huh.
My name is Marco Dupa. The guy who introduced the beer is Adam Obesius Rodriguez.
Sniffing your hair.
And this is the One Baron Podcast.
Lost to be found, I'm someone to save you when you're down. Yes, I'm bored when it's bright out, so bored when it's bright out. 4 to 5 a.m. takes me to a place where I fit in.
Yeah, not too shabby.
Yeah.
Here.
Cheers. That's pretty good.
That is nice.
All right. This is the One Baron Podcast, the podcast where two brews crack open a brew, and we see where that one brew takes us. This is episode 281.
Wow.
And we're back again. We're ready to rock and roll.
Yep.
How you been, man?
Tired.
Yeah.
Very tired.
Yeah.
The world's been full of terrors.
The world is on fire.
How about yours? Yeah. Feeling the weight of everything we're not going to talk about this episode.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, other than that, been pretty good. I got into Cobra Kai.
Oh, you didn't watch it
Finally.
when it was on YouTube?
No, I didn't. Mostly out of ignorance, but also because I didn't trust a YouTube original show, to be honest with you.
I mean, why would you?
Right. But I gave it a shot, and I ran through more than half the first season in one day.
Damn.
So
How many seasons are there?
I think just 2.
That's what I thought.
I think. Could be wrong. But yeah, I think there are 2 on Netflix at least.
I think they're going to probably bring it back.
I think so too.
Do another season because, I mean, it's blown up.
Yeah. So I recommend it. It's really surprisingly good.
That's what happens with these, like, little shows that could.
Mm-hmm.
You throw them on Netflix, man, and it's like, it's a new lease on life.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, I don't know. They kind of got they captured lightning in a bottle with this.
Yeah.
Because, they bring back a lot of the main actors from the original.
Mm.
But then they also, well, I should say the 2 main actors from the original. And then they introduced this entire new cast of characters
They
because
brought back Pat Morita?
no, Only in memory, in spirit. They're flashbacks. Don't worry.
Okay.
R.I.P. Pat. But I think what's so surprising is that those original actors are still really good, and also the and this is usually a something I'm a stickler about. The kids, the teens, the cool teens are really good too.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the younger actors are actually really endearing, pretty believable for, kind of a shticky show. But it all kind of comes together in a really organic, good, cohesive way. And I was really surprised. And I think that was the main thing I was worried about. Is like, it's just going to be full of like, B tier, crappy, like can't act their way out of a bag people.
Yeah.
But no, it's really good. It's a bunch of people I've never heard of, but yeah, it's really good.
What's funny is when that show was on YouTube, it got rave reviews and just nobody really watched it. But it was like people were like, "You gotta watch this show." They everything that you described was basically all the reviews are like it's legitimately fun, and it looks like they put a lot of work into it, and like they took it seriously to bring you back into that world.
Yep.
And just like it's a YouTube original, so it's like it's a strange place. It seems like probably the only place that you could have got something like this done, but it's a strange place to start it off.
Yeah.
But it worked.
And it really doesn't feel as cheap as you would think it would, being a YouTube original.
I watched it when it was on YouTube. I watched a couple of episodes, but at the time I didn't have YouTube. I think it was Red at the time or Premium, whatever it was.
Yeah.
They keep changing names, branding.
Right.
So I watched it then, but I could only watch like 2 episodes, and I liked the show. But then since it took me so long to sign back up for YouTube, I fucking fell off. And then I saw that they put it on Netflix, and I was like,
okay.
all right. So yeah, I'll probably jump.
Yeah,
back
check
on
it out.
that. Yeah,
It's good.
I've just been busting down Tony Hawk Pro Skater. That's all I've been doing.
Yeah, it's a good call.
Yeah,
I want to get that too.
it's good.
Yeah.
It's worth the money. It's only $40, and you don't like it was. It really brings everything back. It's so, I mean, they did it so perfectly. The nostalgia factor. I mean, it controls exactly the way that it did before.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, now with better controllers, like, I mean, dude, I was playing online, and the online features are super limited because it's the bare bones game.
Yeah.
So
it's like free skate or something.
So you only have, you can do you can do speed run, you can do free skate, and you can do each level that, it has all the objectives in the level, and you get 2 minutes to knock out everything. And that's literally what the original game was.
Yeah.
You just go to the warehouse and you collect skate and knock over garbage cans and shit like that. So back in the day, and this is funny because me and South were talking about this, and he was saying everybody was an animal at this game. That's what everybody thinks.
Yeah.
Everybody has this memory of, because we all enjoyed the game, it's a perfect game.
Yeah.
And when it came out, skating was huge. We were all still watching like X Games and shit. So everybody has this memory of being just a fucking animal at the game, just busting out combo after combo, stringing them together the whole time. And then when you actually get your hands on it, you realize like you're not that good. You're not that good.
Yeah.
So it took me a while.
Old bones.
It took no, it definitely is. It's so hard to keep the combos going in that game. So I finally, after maybe a week of playing, I finally got up to like the 300s, the 300,000s for a point total and stuff. And I'm like, okay, I'm where I think I was back in the day. Then you go online and dude, these guys are stringing together like 3 million point combos. It's just bonkers.
No cheats?
No. You're just watching them go, and it's just, well, I shouldn't say no cheats. I don't know.
Yeah.
But there's guys who are, they're streaming the game, and they've been playing it since back in the day. They're doing 20 million point combos.
Just get that feel back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just one of those things where you're like, oh, I'm just gonna suck at this game too.
I'm a normie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It really just brings you back down to earth. You're like, no, this is a game that I was good at when I was a kid. I'll get the skills back. I'm like, no, you won't.
No. It's gone.
There's gonna be a community of people who are just gonna blow your dumb ass out of the water.
Children.
Yes, children.
Yeah.
Are gonna be like, oh, so you just come off the half pipe, you revert to manual, you keep it, and it's like, yeah, but that took so long for me to figure out. How did you do that so fast?
How do you craft in this game?
How do you build?
But yeah, I'll probably pick that up after I get done with Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
Which I think I'm pretty close.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Starting to get that feel of.
I've seen some cinematics. We've had some unveilings of stuff, and I think we're almost there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I it's one of my favorite games. So I've played it, I've beat it, but I hadn't beat it in a really long time. So I was just looking up other stuff, and I just stumbled into the narrative of the original game, and it's just, Jesus, man, it is complicated.
Yeah.
I was reading it, and I had to actually go back up a paragraph and go, wait, so who did what now? And I had to go back and go.
There's a lot of weird anime stuff in it.
Yeah.
It's all about it. It's mostly a game about world building. That's like story itself is kind of convoluted and like what?
Yeah.
Wait, what? But I feel like the remake has done kind of a better job at explaining stuff.
Yeah.
To a certain degree, but now towards the end, I've heard this too. But towards the end, things kind of start to get really weird and obscure again. So prepare for that.
Yeah.
But it's still really cool.
Did you see the rumors about Metal Gear? Metal Gear.
I have. Yeah. Metal Gear Solid remake.
Yep.
I'd be into that.
And they're going to port all of the Metal Gear games, well, 1, 2, and 3, to PC. Which I guess they haven't done, which I didn't know.
I didn't realize that.
I saw an article that said they're finally porting it, and I was like,
huh.
They haven't done that already?
Strange.
I don't know.
That's really weird.
Maybe I read it wrong. I don't know.
Because they went to Xbox, so you'd think if they went to Xbox, they would have done a PC port too. But maybe that was like before Xbox and PC were really like porting the same things.
I don't know. Let me see.
Because I was back in it started with the original Xbox with the Substance versions of the games. We're getting real nerd deep.
Yeah.
I think we lost some people.
Real nerd deep. Metal Gear Solid PC port. It looks like the first 2 Metal Gear Solid games are coming to PC. So yeah, I mean, they didn't have 1 and 2 on PC.
Interesting. I mean, I guess.
Yeah, suck it, PC Master Race.
So much for that. Yeah, they're all laughing at us because they actually have bootleg versions that they've been playing for like 10 years.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I give a fuck.
Okay. Relax.
Fuck the PC Master Race.
I think I'd be excited about that. Obviously, Metal Gear Solid, one of our favorite games of all time. But I think it's a missed opportunity actually to remake the original Metal Gear.
Oh.
Yeah, because that game could use a remake.
Yeah.
A little 2D overhead.
Yeah. You get the Shadow Moses incident.
Yeah, and just get the background on everything, and then you can kind of rebuild Metal Gear from there. Metal Gear. Yeah, I think that would have been a smart move because we're so used to Metal Gear Solid and that entire thing. It's almost too fresh. So even though Hideo Kojima worked on the original Metal Gear 2, I feel like there'd be a little less backlash if they did a remake of that than, the one that people were introduced to Metal Gear Solid or Metal Gear with Solid.
You know what? I didn't even think about Kojima's involvement or lack thereof with this remake. I didn't even think about that aspect of it. That kind of bums me out.
Yeah. I mean, chances are, because they have the technology of that entire system he built for Metal Gear Solid 5.
Mm-hmm.
So they've got to be using that.
So you think they yeah? So it looks closer to that than like 4.
Yeah. I think it's 100% that, because they're sitting on that technology and not doing anything with it.
Yeah.
So the last thing they made was that stupid DLC add-on for 5 that nobody liked. So,
I just don't trust them as a company to.
But it's such easy money to do a remake of Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah, but a remake or a remaster. Because the
has to be a
rumor is that
remake.
it's a remake.
It has to be a remake, yeah, because they've done the remaster before. They've done the remaster like once or twice already.
Yeah. But then if you remake it, then it's like, yeah, we're trusting them without him to do this right. And I just don't. I think they're going to fuck it up.
Why would you think any other way with how they've treated the franchise, making it pachinko machines? Yeah. It
just makes me think of the Godfather scene. Look how they massacred my boy. Look how they massacred my boy.
Yeah. It hurts. It hurts.
Massacred my boy.
But we'll see. I don't know. I mean,
yeah, it's just a rumor. It's not even like a real.
It makes sense though. If they're trying to make money, that's a way to, like Konami's infamously said, I should say, that they're kind of backing out of video games in the past. So maybe this is them just trying to milk that cow a little more.
Yeah. Just get what they can before they get out.
Maybe they'll get some brilliant creative to jump on it and make it something good, but we'll see.
Yeah.
I'll stay unexcited until then.
Right. Because I don't see them handling it correctly.
More video game talk though. The Xbox pre-order debacle, some would say.
Some might say.
Some might say. So Xbox kind of tried to dunk on PlayStation after PlayStation pre-orders.
Not try. They did.
Well, they did, but it was a technical foul after that, and the points just disappeared.
Yep, took the points off the board.
Yeah, because they did basically as bad as PlayStation at the pre-order situation.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
Yeah. So Xbox said that they would let everyone know when pre-orders were going to come out, and they did, and then immediately they sold out.
Yep. And
they released a little bit more here and there, and within literally seconds, disappeared. So some people are saying that their approach of telling everyone exactly when to expect the pre-orders actually was worse for the consumers and better for the scalpers, because at least then the scalpers knew exactly when to set their programs to start running to auto buy everything they possibly can.
Yeah.
Whereas with PlayStation, it was chaos, sure, but it also gave actual people a chance on top of the scalpers.
Yeah.
So
what's the solution?
I don't know. I mean, it'd be so complicated to have to be like verifying that each person is an actual individual, first of all, and like limit, 1 or 2 per person, because it's so easy to, put up a fake alias online. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if there is really an easy solution right now.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, because it's easy for us to come on here, dunk on these companies like we do. And, I mean, I will. I don't regret it or anything. But I'm just like, what could they do differently in these situations? How can they, because to me, it is mind-blowing that these billion-dollar companies can't seem to get this thing right.
Yeah.
It's every single time.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously COVID doesn't help things with that.
No.
I mean, more limited supply than they would have anticipated otherwise, but
yeah.
Even so, like, you had websites crashing, and, even if there was stock, people couldn't get to it because their website crashed, and a bunch of issues. So, I think, I mean, I would ordinarily say it's a better route to go that the way that Microsoft did with telling people exactly when to expect them. But that argument, as far as like keeping people on their toes and keeping scalpers on their toes, kind of won me over.
Yeah.
I mean, it sucks still because it's like we don't know when the next shipment of PlayStations are going to come in that you can pre-order, which I'm, keeping an eye out for, obviously. But at the same time, I don't know. It feels a little better to, know at least not all of them got snatched up in the first millisecond because a scalper had a program running on it that would automatically buy them all.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it sucks. I mean, to me, I'm just like, I'll wait. Yeah. I'll wait. Even if it takes a couple of months, I'll just wait until I can walk into a Best Buy, grab it off the shelf.
Yeah.
Walk into the line.
Sanitize it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lick it.
Uh-huh.
Drag it on the floor. That kind of thing. Hump it. Let it know that I love it.
I thought you were going to say lick it and stick it, but... Okay.
No.
Okay.
Lick it and then go in.
Okay.
Try.
God, come on.
Yeah, I'm just gonna. I get the excitement for it and everything.
Yeah.
I get it, but to me, it's just I don't know. It's wild to me.
Yeah, I've conceded to the gods.
Yeah.
If I can find it online, organically, I'll get it. If I don't, then I'm totally fine waiting until I can do exactly what you said. Just walk into a place and grab one.
It is what it is. It sucks because I mean, it would be way more convenient to just pre-order the fucking thing, and then when I don't know what November 11th or 12th rolls around, it's just at your door. That would be nice.
Yeah.
But you just get shitty. It just everything falls down to, there's just shitty humans.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's it.
It's everything. Yeah.
Everything comes down to, what's the problem with that? Well, it's mostly shitty people. That's it.
Bad people ruined it. Whoops.
It's everything. I was reading this thing about cheaters in Warzone. Apparently it's become like a pretty big issue. And no matter what not Activision, but Activision and who else is part of that? There's another company that did Warzone. It doesn't matter. No matter what anti-cheating technology they put in the game or measures that they take, there's just too many people to police.
Yeah.
And it just sucks.
You can't catch them all.
Yeah, and you just have to just go, some people suck. And that's it.
Yeah, you may have a bad round. Sorry.
Yeah, they're just gonna have to deal with it. Some people suck. Like Fall Guys. Fall Guys is a perfect game where it's like, why would you cheat at Fall Guys? I can understand cheating in a game like Warzone or Madden or something when you got money on the line and you don't really give a shit about the competitive factor. You're just trying to. I get it, but Fall Guys is like it's a kid's game.
Yeah.
What?
It's just fun.
Yeah, it's just a fun game.
You're ruining the fun.
What do you gain from cheating in that? Because the thing is, it's not even like it's these quick rounds of just the mini games are really. It's like cheating in Mario Party.
Yeah.
It's like unless you're playing like with your friends and you're like, fuck them, I'm trying to beat everybody and ruin the day. But I guess that's just what it is. You're just like the kind of person who's like, I just want to ruin somebody's day today.
Yeah, we've talked about this before, I feel, but I just don't understand the appeal of cheating online.
Yeah, we've talked about cheating. But I don't know. I guess it's just this weird realization that most of these problems are just, shitty people you have to deal with.
Yep.
Like this pre-order thing, most of it is just scalpers who are like, yeah, fuck you.
Yeah.
I don't know. It sucks.
It does.
What are you going to do?
What are you going to do?
You should finish that beer. That's what you're going to do. Because we have another beer on tap. Do you want to just give a score for this or wait till the end? Or let's give a score now.
Give a score.
It's
fresh.
fresh.
It's fresh. It is fresh.
So that was the base lager.
Base lager from Tactical Brewing Co.
What'd you think of that one?
It's really good.
Yeah.
Really good. It has almost like a toasty flavor to it, you know? I like that. Good mouth feel. I mean, it's as it says, it's base, very basic. It does what it does, but that's all we ask it to do, baby.
That's right.
I'm gonna give it a 4.5.
Yeah, it's not a bad score.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how much this lager is, just like its base price.
Mm-hmm.
If it's decently priced, I would go so far as to man. Well, there's no way to know, so I'll just go off of flavor. Because what I was getting at is, I mean, I think it's really good.
Mm-hmm.
And if there's bang for your buck on this one, I would rate it higher because
Right.
it would be worth that. It would be worth your time and worth your money. Because I think it's. I mean, considering craft brew prices, it's probably a little outside what it should be
In this economy.
in this economy. I'm still gonna give it a 5.
Okay.
Yeah,
I respect it.
I think it's. There's like a little sweetness to it in the
Yeah.
back. It's really good. It's
As
really
we always
good.
say, very well balanced.
All right,
Yeah.
4.5 and a 5 for the base lager.
Yeah.
Let's get into that stout. First of all, the label's beautiful.
Yeah, it's super hard to read too.
Yep.
All right. We have the Late Night Brunchy Call, which is brewed with chocolate, maple syrup, and coffee. It is a chocolate chip pancake Imperial Stout.
All right.
And it's coming in a hefty 10% ABV.
Hefty. So let's rock and roll. Yeah.
Ooh, oh, that smells like breakfast. That's nice.
Brunchy.
It's a brunchy boy.
Brunchy boy. That's a thick old brunchy boy. It's a thick boy. Yeah, let me get that. Thank you. Thank you. A thick old brunchy boy.
Big old brunchy boy. That's what they call me.
All right.
All righty. Oh, yeah. Cheers.
Cheers. Oh, Lord.
And just for precaution,
Lactate
I am
incoming.
taking a lactate. I don't know if this has lactose in it, but it has chocolate flavor, which has me on edge.
Pancakes could be made with milk if you wanted.
Could be.
If you want them real thick.
Could be.
Episode 281, sponsored by Lactate.
I thought you were going to say real thick boys. That's every episode.
Yeah, so that's how that goes.
Mm.
You enjoying that?
Honestly, I don't mean to get weird on people here.
Yeah, weird.
The chewable lactate vanilla flavor, it's really good. It tastes really good. I mean, it's almost on the same tier as like the Flintstones vitamins, where you look forward to this thing that's helping you, which I feel is just kind of a natural phenomenon.
Yeah.
Where like a medicine is scrumptious. We should do like top 5 tasty medicines.
We could do it right now.
I think Advil, if you lick it, that outer coating, the like sugar coating, it's not bad.
I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. When like if you pop a couple of them in your mouth and then you forget like, oh, I'm not gonna dry swallow this. So I need something to wash this down. And they just sit there, and then I finally get something to drink it, and it's just like pink on my tongue.
Yeah.
Hate it.
Margo hates pink on his tongue.
I don't want pink on my tongue.
Okay.
I'm trying to think what medicines I actually do. I'm not one of those people that's like, people are like, oh, you know, the grape flavored anything when it comes to medicine is awful.
Yeah.
That's just, but that's the stereotype, right? Like that's the one that everyone's like, Yeah, you don't want to do grape
I
flavored.
don't know. I think cherry's worse for me.
Or is it the cherry one?
I think cherry's worse for me. I think grape is close, but cherry's definitely worse for me.
The thing about grape flavored anything is like it's so hit or miss. It's crazy. Like grape flavored bubble tape. So good.
Yeah.
Out of this world.
Yeah. I'll take a bite out of the entire.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Or Big League Chew, grape flavored.
Yeah.
Forget about it.
Yeah.
But grape flavored, well, medicine obviously that one sucks. But like anything that's like some grape flavored candies, like hard candies, are kind of like it's just reminds you of medicine.
Yeah. I'm not a big fan of the grape flavored Laffy Taffy.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's okay, but it's not great.
What were they thinking when they made banana flavored Laffy Taffy?
And like I feel like in the apocalypse, when it inevitably happens this November, the only thing that's going to be left is cockroaches and banana Laffy Taffy, because that's all that's ever at the bottom of the bag of candies. Yeah. That's it. It's just banana Laffy Taffy.
Just banana Laffy Taffy. That's just.
I've gotten old enough to be able to look at it and go, I'm not even gonna have this begrudgingly. I don't want it.
No,
I don't want it.
Yeah.
As a kid, I would sometimes be like, I mean, I'll take it, I guess.
Yeah.
But it leaves such like a nasty in the back of your mouth.
I mean, banana as a fruit is towing the line already. Like it's good.
Yeah.
I like bananas, but you put it with anything else, and it's like, you know, I could have just done the strawberry milkshake instead of the strawberry banana milkshake.
Yeah.
I just would have been okay without the banana.
It's so different from every other like fruit.
Yeah.
That it's a welcome change in texture in your fruit bowl.
Yes.
It's good when you pair it up with stuff, but alone it's a little too much.
Yeah.
It can be too much.
I'll throw it in the middle of a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Yeah. Okay.
I
Sure.
mean, that adds a degree.
It's a great partner.
Yes.
But as a star of the show, it can be a little much.
Yeah.
Especially if they're too sweet.
Yeah.
I don't like super sweet bananas. I actually like them a little unripe.
Yeah.
I like them just a hair green, just a little bit, just a little.
Really?
Just a little bit. Yeah. It's like it's yellow still, but it's like a pale yellow. You know, or a greenish yellow, I should say. Where it's not quite there yet. I like it being a little like just a hint of sugar, and the rest of it just being kind of like a neutral flavor.
Yeah.
I prefer that.
Huh. I
prefer it.
I need them like if you were taking a picture of them for a magazine yellow.
Okay.
Like perfectly yellow.
Yeah.
The day after that, and it's like, probably not going to eat the rest of these bananas. I stopped buying them because I used to get the bushel, and I'd have like 2, maybe 3 of them.
Yeah.
And then after that, they just die on the counter.
Yeah.
And then what do? You tell yourself you're going to make banana bread, and you never make banana bread.
You don't do it.
Then it just dies on your counter. Then you got to throw away moldy-ass black bananas.
Yeah. Have we ever figured out why they make those little baby bananas?
Why they make them?
Yeah. Like, what's the purpose?
Are those like engineered?
I don't know. I mean, they're yellow.
What do you do with them?
They're yellow, but they're still babies. So it's like
Yeah.
I figure they're like genetically modified in some way.
Yeah.
Unless that's its own like species of banana.
I think it is.
So like, do they taste different? I've never had them.
Did you ever see those pictures of the bananas where you know how bananas have those little seeds in the middle?
Yeah.
And there was a picture of a banana with like seeds that looked like peanuts, and they were like, "This is what happens in nature." But it's fucking. I'm almost positive it was photoshopped.
I mean, probably.
I mean, it's fucking disgusting. Like, how could you?
Yeah.
How could you want that? The seeds being that big.
God.
How do you grow a banana? Do you?
I would think you just stick one in the ground as we do.
Just
I don't know. Like I genuinely, because those aren't. I mean, okay. If there are seeds inside it, then I guess that would work, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Wouldn't
I
it
guess
work?
you just throw them away like compost, right? You just throw them in the dirt.
I suppose.
Open them up maybe and just kind of let them.
I suppose, but that's the thing. Maybe the ones that we get are genetically modified to not have bigger seeds, and therefore it can't reproduce.
So you're saying that picture maybe wasn't Photoshop?
Potentially. But, well, I'm just thinking because the same thing's with the seedless watermelon.
Yeah.
Like in nature, obviously they naturally have seeds.
Yeah, it's slapping the god and slapping.
Slapping the god.
Slapping the god.
Uh huh.
slapping God in the face
Right.
with those seedless watermelon.
Yeah. So maybe that's the same thing. I don't know.
To me, though, you know, stuff like that is endlessly fascinating. How they can do shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Marco, big fan of GMO.
it's just I mean, as a process, it's fascinating to say. Some guy walks into a lab and goes, "I love watermelon, but I hate the seeds. Get on it." And then they just do it. They just figure that shit out. Or maybe they don't. Maybe they just stumble on it. But then they can repeat that process. Science. They can repeat that process over and over. And now you can sell it in stores where you go, do you want the seeds or not? Because we've figured out a way that we can alter how this organic thing works.
Yeah.
You thought that you just pluck this off a tree or a bush or out of the ground. No. We decided it was going to look the way that it looks, taste the way that it tastes, and feels the way that it feels. We decided that.
Yep.
That's endlessly, it's horrifying, but it's endlessly fascinating to me. Shit like that. Dog breeding is insanely fascinating to me. That a guy was like, I need all those sheep over there, over here. So I'm
got that dog?
I'm gonna make that dog fuck that dog.
Because they're both good at doing the sheep thing.
And then hopefully in a couple of generations, some part of their DNA gets down to that dog, and then that one just inherently knows, oh, he wants those sheep over here. Yeah. Got it. That's crazy.
Yeah. I think that's, I don't know. It's a bit of, it's physical, really mutations at the time, mixed in with learned behavior. So it's interesting to think that, is it psychological that, is there something psychological that is transforming the brain for generations? You know, like, is that what it is? Like, do you inherit almost memories in a way? Like, that brings an interesting idea
That's so
here.
Fascinating to me, because it's like, does trauma affect you on a molecular level? That you could pass that down.
This brings it all back to Metal Gear.
Yeah, right? It does. And that's just really, because you're right. I mean, a level of it is training. Just bashing that into their heads until it becomes second nature for them. Yeah. But then once those dogs die, you're like, well, that's it for all of that training. But no, it just keeps going. Or like thinking about an English bulldog. Those things were bred because, I don't know, I think it was Marie Antoinette or somebody. I think she's French. I don't know shit.
Yes, she's definitely French. Well, she's not French herself, but she, you know, rose in prominence in France.
Right. Kirsten Dunst.
Of course.
But the English bulldog was bred to look the way that it looks just because some royal was like, I'd like it this big with a face this big.
And they've changed over time too. Like pugs, you know, pugs' noses were actually longer before, and they over time through inbreeding and all that got smushed further and further in.
But that's what's crazy, because that's what they wanted. That was the intended effect. They wanted.
I think bulldogs, if I remember correctly, were bred originally to fight bulls. That's why they're so like stocky and low to the ground, because they could apparently like latch on to the bull and like flip it with their, because their necks are so thick, you know.
If that is a real thing, and God, I hope it is, that's the most amazing thing.
We'll do some research after the show, but I'm pretty sure I read that somewhere.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's why they're so stocky and have such a short frame and are like so neck heavy. Yeah, is because their necks were needed to like twerk that much weight, you know, to flip a bull over.
You remember my brother's dog Xerxes?
Of course,
dude. I would sit on the floor and like play with him and stuff, and he'd dart away and then dart back, and like, you know, he'd come to you, but he didn't know how to stop. He was like
all gas, no brakes.
He was like a bowling ball. I swear to God, he was so heavy. Yeah, but he wasn't fat. It was just all muscle. Yeah. and he just had no idea how to control it. He felt like a bowling ball.
Yeah.
I miss that dog. That was a good dog.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I mean, just stuff like that. Like, I mean, yeah, GMO, genetic modification
yeah.
is, I mean, it's, say what you want about it, but I mean, at the same time, people don't understand.
No, and you know, according to science, it's way safer than people are afraid of. It's just scary sounding because, like, you're right, they develop stuff in labs and, you know, put it out into the field and see what happens. But,
Yeah.
you know, it's all tested and, like, we make sure it's not poisonous and it's not going to do anything bad to you. It's just organic sounds better.
Yeah.
And it makes it sound like you're going to spend more money.
Yeah.
So,
And you will.
yeah, I mean, for all intents and purposes, GMO products are just as nutritious as organic stuff.
Yeah, I mean, think about, like, you know, you have these campaigns against factory farming and all this stuff, and you want the ethical treatment of the animals and everything like
Yeah,
that.
and that's a totally different subject. Too.
No, they go hand in hand, though, because genetically modified meat products are a thing. And I think that part of the reason that they're not as readily available after cost, obviously, and the research still being out on that is the fact that people will reject it. They've already done studies on people are like,
Yeah.
I will not eat that.
This what you're talking about is the like manufactured, the lab created meats.
Yes.
That don't come from an animal.
Yes.
But taste the same and feel the same.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I, for one, I would be on the front lines of that shit. If honestly,
Feed me.
dog, if you could give me something that I couldn't tell the difference, like fucking Cypher in the Matrix, if you could do that, I'd never eat real meat again.
Yeah.
I mean, ethically, like, I'm too undisciplined and I'm too much of a savage to, like, go full vegan or vegetarian. I could, like, but ethically, if it came down to it, like, that would be more important to me.
Yeah.
And if you gave me the option of, like, look, we can stop that shit. Those horrific videos that you've seen of how those animals, we can stop it. You just have to eat this fake meat. I'd be like, fucking serve it up.
Yeah.
Wrap that shit up.
But, you know, in the movies, the fake meat's always people. So.
Fuck it, I'll eat people then.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. Or am I?
This all tastes like pork. It's weird.
Why do people taste like pork?
I don't know. That's what people say. That's
Really?
what I've heard. Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe that's why religious people don't eat pork.
Could be. Maybe they saw a bunch of savages down there that were eating other people, and they're like, "Hey, what did that taste like?"
Like,
Kind of tastes like pig, man.
tastes like pig.
Like, okay, we're not gonna do that anymore.
Because the whole thing is, pigs are dirty, right? They eat and root and shit.
Yeah.
Right. But what if you had like super clean pigs? Is it still bad to eat pork? If you bred the pigs yourself, you ensured that there was no diseases, no.
They're your pets. You wash them every day and brush their teeth.
And then one day you decide it's
time.
We're gonna have a pig roast.
Yeah.
Like, do those same rules apply?
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, if it's based in a thing that from the scripture, they're taking that as like this animal's off limits, then yes, they still apply.
Yeah.
Because just as a rule, still applies.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I mean, they do say that like wild animals and animals that are treated ethically and killed ethically do end up tasting better.
Yeah.
And have more flavor. I mean, it's really morbid, but apparently in the process of dying, the animals, if they're in a state of panic and fear, their muscles get really like
Tense
and yeah, and same thing with fish too. Actually, I saw this thing on like I think YouTube on Vice or something, where apparently if you kill a fish ethically and quickly, they just end up lasting a lot longer and tasting better. Apparently, they go bad way longer or way later.
That's such a wild thing to think about.
Yeah, which is strange and very morbid, but at the same time, like, it kind of makes sense.
Like, if, you know, they say that you deserved it whenever you die with your eyes open. Like, if you knew your death was coming and they're like, holy fuck! And then they die, and then they're just all, good.
And then you don't taste as good. You taste like a bad pig.
Yeah, I want to, if I'm going to go, I'm going to tense up so whoever tries to, like, if they try to eat me later.
Is that your main concern when you die?
Yeah, I just want to be tense.
Don't eat me!
You can't. You won't enjoy this.
And all that being said, I think Flintstone vitamins are very good.
That's good. I'm looking for this Vice article because they had another classic. You know that thing you love? What if it sucks?
What if actually it's about oppression?
And I'm trying to find it because it was a good one. And it was literally like, what if that thing you like kind of sucks?
Was it a new article? Because they've been making those for the past 10 years.
Yeah, no, they've been doing it for a while, and this one was just the most recent in the long line of them just shitting on things that people love.
Ruining your childhood.
Yeah. I mean, you know, I get it. That's how you get eyes, I guess.
Clicks.
But you know what, though? People have been turning on it because they understand that that's what they're going for.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen that in the past, like, 3 years or so. People are commenting, like, no. just no.
I was like, oh, we're doing this again. Got it.
It's old hat now. Like, the shock value's out of it, and people know not even to click on the article anymore.
Yeah. Most people you'll see in the comment section are like, oh, you're doing that thing again.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, I guess we'll just ignore that. Hold on. Give me a second.
All right.
Give me a second.
Yeah.
Will it be worth it? Probably not.
You're lucky I have beer to enjoy during this boring episode. It's not. I guarantee it's not worth it.
Oh, here it is. I found it.
Oh my god. Okay.
That's good.
Here we go.
What if Christopher Nolan movies are actually crap?
Okay.
That's the premise of the article.
Got
it's
it.
Like, and I'll click on it. I'll give them the click. Fine. Tenet is yet another Nolan film built on a foundation of confusion. And that's the premise of this article. After the 2017 release of Dunkirk, you might have been lulled into the belief that Christopher Nolan was heading towards his peak, the final push-up a quarter pipe before he launched into pure genius.
Wait. Does that surmise that this author thinks that was his best movie?
Yes, that is the premise of this. That Dunkirk is his best film, or at least the
like
film that was going to get us to
to a potential peak.
Sadly, you were wrong, and I'm not going to sit here and read a Vice article, but yeah,
okay.
I mean, again, you know, Vice is that's just what they do, but it oops
Ah!
saw that. It's like this just super obvious, like, I don't know, man.
Contrarian.
Do
corner.
they? I mean, they pay people. They actually pay people to write those art. They probably don't. It's probably like unpaid interns.
Or not much.
I did that kind of freelance work for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, luckily I was doing something that I enjoyed.
What if Illmatic's not that good?
I would never. I actually probably would write an article like that just because it's interesting. I mean, as a thought exercise, it's interesting.
Yeah.
To say like, okay, what if we've been overrating this thing? But that's why it's so fun to go back on those things.
Yeah.
And try to understand if we are overrating those things. Like they still exist. You can go back and go, does this thing hold up? Mm-hmm. So I'll go back and listen to, albums that people say are like top 10, top 15 albums and go, all right, is it though? Is it really? Does it hold up? And I'll go back and listen to like bad albums and go, was it as bad as we originally thought?
Yeah, I do that a lot. I do that a lot with movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's an interesting exercise to do. I feel like it's way less controversial if you put it in that way of like, does this hold up, as opposed to does this thing suck?
Yeah.
Does this thing actually suck? Because that also surmises that it does.
Yeah.
Because why are you questioning it then if
Right.
it doesn't?
Like there's a part of you that's like, it sucks.
Yeah.
Do you agree? I kind of think it sucks. What do you think? I think it sucks.
Right.
I don't know, man. It's stuff like that that bothers me. Like film, Twitter, just film people
Whoa.
in general.
Careful.
They bother me because they do
Watch
shit
your
like
mouth.
that. They do shit like that where
Uh-huh.
they're like, Christopher Nolan kind of sucks. And you're like, okay, which movie sucked?
There's a big Chris Nolan backlash.
I know.
For
I've
sure.
seen it a lot.
Yeah.
And it's like, just explain to me. Because there's this idea that his filmmaking is soulless,
Yeah. Cold.
emotionless,
Yep.
and pretentious.
And there's a lot of things that don't make sense. And it's never it's always about the concept more than it is about the storytelling.
But to me, pretension, I think, is a hard thing to define, especially when it comes to films, because unless on the surface you can go, you can tell that the writing thinks it's better than it is.
Yeah. That's usually with like art house films
Yeah.
though, and like student films that are like clearly up their own asshole.
Right.
And like you can tell because there's no substance there. You know, like
Yeah.
you can do something as abstract as you want, but if there's nothing to like latch onto, then it's meaningless.
Yeah.
You can define meaning however you like, but for an audience, maybe I can't find any definition within that or any meaning or any purpose. So I don't think Christopher Nolan's films are anywhere near that, where he makes blockbusters. I don't know what people like. I guess it's because of the comparisons to like Stanley Kubrick, if you want to get fancy.
Stanley
Kubrick, and stuff like that. But I don't really see that. He made Batman movies. Like,
Yeah.
what do you want? Like,
It's the audience's perception of it that changes. It's the same thing with, like the Rick and Morty fan base, where Justin Roiland and Dan Harmon are not making this thing that they don't think that they're smarter than their audience.
No.
They're right in the thick of it. They obviously have a point that they're trying to get across, but it's not this point that's like super complex and hard to understand. It's right there in your face.
And they don't put that importance on their work
No.
either, from what we can tell.
They they seem to just genuinely enjoy it, have fun with it, and just want to do something silly.
Right.
Then you get the fan base that's like, now it's become a parody, but
Yeah.
there were legitimately subreddits of, you guys just don't really understand what they're doing.
You're not on the level,
with
man.
this. And that's not Justin Roiland and Dan Harmon's fault. Same thing with somebody telling you like, oh, you didn't get Inception. Maybe it's a little too highbrow for you. It's like,
Right,
but it's
yeah.
not. It's an easy movie to understand.
It is.
When people
Yeah.
are like, you got to watch that movie like a couple of times. Dude, we saw it in the theater, and the first time I was like, I got it.
Yeah.
There's nothing to get.
I mean, I feel like a lot of the backlash to that movie was about the ending, where people were mad there wasn't a definitive conclusion.
Yeah.
Which we've talked about before too. But yeah, I mean, I don't get it.
It's a lot of these movies
get
though.
it.
Like, The Matrix is a good example. When that movie came out, people were like, "Dude, what a mind fuck," and it's like, not really though. Like, the concept
Yeah.
is a mind fuck, but it's not hard to understand.
Yeah, well, I feel like for the time it was mind blowing in not only like a visual way, because obviously it was, it pioneered a ton of visual effects and was incredible. Still is to this day, holds up pretty well. But in the concept of what if all this is a simulation, that wasn't explored in such a way as it was in that movie ever before.
Yeah.
You know, like
but that idea is an interesting idea, and the way that they execute it, I think, is near perfect. But the idea itself is not one that's hard to understand.
No. And that's, I think, on purpose. You know, that makes it such a good entryway for people to accept it.
But the people who criticize the movie, that's one of the first things that they or people who hype the movie up as this
super deep.
Yeah, that's where you get these people going, well, I mean, The Matrix kind of sucks. And it's like, no, I mean, for years you were told that it was this movie that you needed to watch with like an encyclopedia next to you to understand everything that was being thrown at you. And in actuality, it's like, the world's not real. You're plugged. You're a battery. You're plugged into, like, it's not this.
You're not living in
hard concept.
You're not living in the reality that you think you are.
Yeah, that's easy. That's not a hard thing to wrap your head around.
I think it just blew a lot of people's minds because they hadn't thought anything like that before.
Yeah.
But I agree with you. I think it's sort of like when people say The Exorcist is the scariest movie of all time.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you get that hype all the way up until you watch it, and then it's like, I mean, it's a really good movie. It's great, but is it the scariest movie of all time? I don't know. After it's been hyped up that much, you know, for 50 years.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, you're told over and over and over again. And then when you finally watch it, you're like, I mean, it's scary, but I think movies, the scarier movies are the ones that are more unsettling than scary.
Yeah.
The ones that stick with you, where you're like, I don't like this imagery. This bothers me.
Well, that's why The Exorcist works. There's not a lot of, like, you know, I was going to say CG, but stop motion animation and stuff like that takes you out of it. It's all just uncomfortable imagery and stuff that's still shocking to this, like imagery that's still shocking to this day.
Well, I think that it definitely works better as a time capsule than it does. Like watching it in 2020 and seeing it, I mean, it's been parodied to death.
Of course. Yeah.
And then if you're not a religious person, that's another thing that's going to kind of take you away from it because you're like, well, I mean, I can kind of make a leap and understand why some of this is so horrifying, but
it doesn't affect you as much.
No,
on the same level.
But if I can understand in the 70s, somebody who's Roman Catholic or like goes to church every Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, seeing that with old ladies fainting in the movie theaters. I get it.
Yeah, my mom has a famous story about when she went to see it, and she lived in New York too. Yeah, and you know, like it. She was one of the people claiming it to be the scariest movie of all time. Yeah, because of how much it affected her. It's funny you mentioned that too about how it affects you differently if you subscribe to the religion. Because when I first saw it as a kid, you know, I was in not Catholic school, but I'd go to Sunday school. And go to church in a Catholic church. So I was in, baby. Yeah. And seeing it then was way more terrifying and like stuck with me way longer. Yeah. Because I was afraid of it. It almost felt like that movie was dangerous. Yeah. Like it could infect you in a way and like bring that thing into you. Mm-hmm. And sleeping at night after seeing that movie for the first time, I was like, don't think about it, you know, and that type of thing. I watch it today and it affects me still. And I think it's still, you know, almost a perfect movie and one of the greatest horror movies of all time. Still scary to this day. Mm-hmm. But it doesn't affect me on that same level. Yeah, it doesn't. It just doesn't. But, you know,
I think there's certain conceits that you have to take into account if it's gonna affect you at its peak. Mm-hmm. You'd have to first, I think, believe that you could be possessed.
Right, demons are real. You can be possessed. There are exorcists. There are exorcisms. And all that. You know?
All of those things have to be real to you first,
right, before
you can really go, yeah, this is a frightening thing to watch. So
yeah.
But yeah, so to get back to Christopher Nolan, it's like you said, he makes blockbusters with a brain. And I think that second part is the part that a lot of detractors take issue with.
Yeah.
Where it's like they don't have a brain. They're dumb movies. Mm-hmm. And it's like, all right, I'll give you that.
Yeah.
They are mostly dumb movies and I think maybe because they're high concept, but the concept itself is kind of murky.
Yeah.
That it makes people go, I understand what he was trying to do, but he didn't really do it that well, or he didn't really take the concept where it could have gone, kind of half-assed it.
Yeah.
And then you throw, an A-list actor and actress in there, and bang, bang, boom, you make $300 million.
Right.
So I get it, but it's like, I don't know. At the end of the day, it's really just people taking themselves and taking the art too seriously.
Yeah. Well, and on top of that, I was thinking, well, what's the alternative here? Are we would they prefer a big dumb blockbuster instead of something that's trying to at least suppose something more deep?
No, because Michael Bay gets shitted on, Jerry Bruckheimer gets shitted on,
yeah,
fucking
the Fast and Furious movies.
They all get shitted on,
Right.
and they're just big dumb movies. So it's like you can't win.
Exactly.
Every movie, if it were up to some people, every fucking movie would just be an Aaron Sorkin film, just over and over and over again. Wordy, fucking, let's criticize American culture and let's have this super deep conversation. Okay, we get it. Steve Jobs wasn't a good dude.
We need a lot of people to cry, okay?
Got it.
That's what we need.
And then we'll just get not Jeff Bridges, but the other Jeff
Daniels.
Mm-hmm. We'll get him to be in it,
Yeah.
and then boom, you got your fucking. Is that what you want? Is that what you want?
Kinda.
Yeah,
take-
it's
I'll take it.
pretty cool.
I'll take it.
Did you see the HBO thing that Aaron Sorkin is doing with it's like he wrote it with actually, is Aaron Sorkin part of it? I'm gonna have to double check that before I go any further.
Is Jeff Daniels part of it?
Yes, he plays Comey.
Oh.
It's all about
Interesting.
James Comey and his investigation into the emails, and it's right up to the 2016 election.
Interesting.
Dude, hold on. You gotta see who they got to play Trump in this fucking thing, dude. It's kind of bonkers because he looks nothing like him.
No.
It is. I mean, I would be like, if I was Trump, I'd be like, fuck you. I mean, the guy, he looks like he's wearing what is Andy Kaufman's character's name?
Before my time, bud.
He has that character that he played where he was fuck me, dude. Where people didn't know if he was real or not. He would go out there and he was basically just an insult comic.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck. The Comey Rules. That's what this show is called. The Comey Rules. And that's Billy Ray. I don't even know who Billy Ray is. What did he do? He wrote The Color of Night. He has written Captain Phillips and Richard Jewell.
Tony Clifton?
Tony Clifton.
Okay.
Yes, Tony Clifton.
Yeah.
That's what he looks like, the guy playing Trump.
That's funny.
Like the way, like just the makeup, and it's not a very good Trump, like, performance.
Yeah. Maybe that's on purpose. Maybe they're trying to avoid that stealing the show. It's not about him.
And he's an Irish guy. It's Brendan Gleeson is playing him.
Oh, yeah, I know him.
Yeah. He played Alistair Moody in the Harry Potter films for the kids.
His son is in Star Wars.
He is? Who
Yeah,
is he?
he's the pale ginger Imperial guy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Something else Gleason.
Something Gleason, yeah.
Yeah.
It's probably in this wiki page. Domhnall Gleeson. That's him.
Mm-hmm.
Domhnall Gleeson, that guy.
That's right.
Yeah. Anyway, I'll show you the trailer for it.
Okay.
He looks fucking insane. I I can't wait for it to come out because you're gonna see people talking about it because they're trying to get it out before the election. Somebody else is trying to get something out before the election. Like all these people are trying to get like, I don't want to call it propaganda, but like
just strike while the iron's hot. Basically, yeah.
They're just trying to jump on the. And it's like, what do you think that people are gonna watch the Comey rules and then go, you know what? I don't think I can vote for Trump this time around.
That really convinced me. I don't know.
Yeah, all the people with HBO Max are going to be like, you know what? I've changed my mind.
Yeah, I'm really glad I watched this just before I went to the polls.
This Gleason performance has really changed my perspective on things.
Irishman opened my heart.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's talk about this beer.
Okay.
Let's get the fuck out of here. Unless you had something else. Anything else we want to talk about?
No.
No.
No,
I think we're good.
Okay. I think we're good.
So, this second brew from Tactical Brewing Co. is the Brunchy time.
It's the late night brunchy call. Brewed with chocolate, maple syrup, and coffee. Is the chocolate chip pancake Imperial Stout at a whopping 10% ABV.
What did you think of this one, good sir?
Oh, it was a hefty boy. That was a hefty boy. Yeah, you get a lot of that chocolatey flavor. I got a little bit of the syrup as well, early on especially. Mm-hmm. So they are definitely delivering what they offer or what they said that they were going to. Mm-hmm. Which is I find kind of rare. Mm-hmm. We don't find one that is as advertised a lot of the time. But yeah, I got a lot of those individual notes. At a 10%, it gave me a little bit too much kick of the alcohol for my liking personally. It was still very tasty. So all that being said, with the pros and cons that I just listed, I will give it a 4.5% ABV.
Yeah, 4
in my life.
I'm gonna give it a 4.5. Also, I'm a stout guy, so I love, and I thought flavor wise,
he's the stout man.
Fuck. I was gonna. I don't know. Like my improv brain just turned off.
That's from the 10% ABV.
I had a thing, and then it just went away. The flavor profile, fantastic. I think I guess mouthfeel wise, I would have preferred it to be maybe like a little milk stoutier. I guess a little thicker.
Okay.
I don't know if that's a reasonable critique of the beer.
I think so.
But yeah, and I mean it's not. We've had some good stouts on this show.
Yeah. Some
5.5ers. I think I've doled out some 6s. So this isn't quite at the top of Mount Olympus of stouts, but it's still fantastic.
Yeah.
4.5 out of 6, still good score. Yeah. Really good score.
For sure.
I think we have been sleeping on Tactical Brewing Co. And I'm excited to get more stuff from there. And we're gonna go. We're gonna hang out because it's a cool place. I don't know if you've ever actually been in there, but
I have not. I've walked by it before. Actually, I think before they're even open.
Yeah,
because they've been making that place for a long time, and they've opened. But since they've opened, I haven't been back. So I'd like to check it out.
Let's go check it out.
Okay,
let's go right now.
I think they're closed, bud.
I don't know. We'll see.
Okay,
we'll go talk to somebody.
Okay,
I know some people.
Okay, all right.
Well, a 4.5 as a unanimous 4.5 for the Brunchy call, a 4.5 and a 5 for the base lager. I think we got it. You think we got it?
I think we got it.
Oh, there we go.
I think we got it.
Well, if Adam says we got it, then we got it. This has been the One Baron podcast for myself, Marco Dupa, for Adam Obesius Rodriguez.
Drink some local brews.
Thank you guys for listening. Drink delicious beer. Like, share, and subscribe everywhere podcasts are sold, listened to, watched, viewed, played, And have a beautiful evening.
We love you.
Bye. Do 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 do.